What's up, guys? This is Arctic89. I finished second at the Nwraiders Jungle Cup. It was held at the Mad Pecker Brewery, and even though it's a brewery, guys, don't get scared. It's still very kid-friendly and very pogo-friendly. In fact, the owner and his wife both play and raid daily. This is my attempt at, making some YouTube videos. So sorry for the bad editing, and some of my videos kind of got messed up. So just deal with me. I'll get better. So round one, we got accelerated momentum, um, and start off with a really bad lead. But I decided I'm just gonna stay in there and do as much damage as I can because I didn't want to bring in my Vigoroth and I didn't want to switch first, giving him switch advantage. So I'm able to get a Sludge Bomb off before he can get a charge move off. And for some reason, he decides not to block. And I decide, yeah, I'll probably, go ahead and block since a Mega Horn can pretty much one-shot a Venusaur. And then just, feint him down with quick moves. But he ends up switching, and now that he's switched, I'm going to try to do some damage. And if he blocks it, I'm going to switch out myself, which I do, into a much better matchup, even though the Silver Wind is still pretty strong. It hits Knockdown for a decent amount of damage. It's nothing real threatening at first, but it gets off 2 and it kind of scares me, which you'll see here in a second. And I wanted to save up as much energy as I possibly could, but right here you'll see that, I get in the red and I'm like, okay, that's enough. Let's throw out a charge move eventually. And if he doesn't shield, which I'm sure he's not because it's kind of pointless as low health as it was, I'm just going to throw out a second charge move, and that takes out his last shield. So now I'm at a shield advantage and technically a Pokemon advantage, even though I bring out my Venusaur, which is normally a good counter, but it's almost dead, so it gets knocked out in 2 hits. Now I bring out my Vigoroth to counter his Vigoroth. I'm going to go ahead and take this Body Slam. I knew I could live through it, but now technically I'm going to have the energy advantage, especially after the switch. Getting one hit on that Heracross really gave me the advantage. So I'm able to throw out a Body Slam, and it brings him about down to my level. And with my 1 shield, I can block his next Body Slam, and I'll have the energy for another Body Slam, finishing the match. It was a great game. It's always fun playing accelerated momentum, and I always look forward to it. So in round 2, I kind of get a bad matchup again. His Venusaur versus my Vigoroth. You really normally don't want to see it. It's not as threatening as my last matchup, but it's still not the greatest. I noticed that his Venusaur was running Razor Leaf, so I figured I'll throw out a charge move, do a quick switch into my own Venusaur, and try to get to a Sludge Bomb before he can. But he ends up switching out his Pokemon, which was a pretty good play on his part. Except I'm guessing that was some kind of mistake because he just lets it go down to this Frenzy Plant, not even going to try to shield it. So that definitely hurt his match. But we keep going. I got a lot of energy on the Venusaur. I'm going to throw out a Frenzy Plant and try to do what I can, either take the last shield or do a lot of damage, which he decides not to shield. I'm going to go ahead and block this just because I have a lot of energy stored up still. And I think I get off a couple more quick moves and then go for another Frenzy Plant, which he's going to let his Vigoroth go down, which leaves him with, I don't remember, it's his own Venusaur. And he's got a Sludge Bomb ready to go. I might have been able to shield it and get to a Sludge Bomb before he could, and I would have been in a lot better spot. But unfortunately, he still has a shield, and this isn't the greatest matchup for me, but neither is the Alolan Graveler that I have in the background. But I'm able to take his last shield and get him down pretty low, and I'm just hoping and praying that I can get the win out of this. He's chunking away with that Razor Leaf pretty good. I go ahead and shield, and luckily I am able to just finish him down with quick moves, but just barely. And GG's. Round 2, we had Vergiverg. He ended up winning the whole thing, as you can see to the right. I start off in another bad lead. Apparently I have a thing about bad leads. So I have to switch, which gives him automatically the switch advantage. He brings out his Vespiquen, the one Pokemon I did not want to see in this tournament. I really just don't like dealing with it. So I'm going to go ahead and try to fake him out, which works. I take a shield, and then, go for a Sludge Bomb. It might hit a little harder if I don't get a shield, and he decides not to block it. And then basically my Venusaur goes down pretty hard. I don't want to shield it, even though it's going to stink to face that Lantern later without a Venusaur. I bring my Alolan Graveler back in, and it takes out Vespiquen pretty easily because of the double weakness to Rock type. And about 4 hits and it's down. Now I'm super close to a Rock Blast. I know he's going to bring in his Lantern, and I'm just hoping I can get a Rock Blast on his Lantern. Barely get to it in time. I believe he shields it. Yes, he does. And he's able to finish off my Alolan Graveler with quick moves. So he's got quite a bit of energy stored up on that. And unfortunately for me, as strong as Vigoroth is with 2 shields, it's still not going to be enough. I thought about going for the Bulldoze, but I decided just to go for Body Slams instead. Which, he gets off another charge move, forced me to use my last shield. I probably could have gone without it. I didn't know how much Thunderbolt did to Vigoroth. I should have playtested a little more. But he brings out his own Venusaur, and I knew right then that I was in a pretty bad spot. No shields. I might have been able to win if I had 1 shield, but with none, it's just game over. So he took the first game. It was a good game. In round 2, I start off Vigoroth, and he starts off Lantern. He seems to be liking that lead Lantern, and I figured this is a pretty good matchup for me, so I'll stay in it. I go for the Body Slam here pretty shortly, I believe. I think I was thinking to, go for a Bulldoze, or maybe I was just trying to piggyback, thinking he had the CMP advantage. The piggyback did not work because you didn't see my little Vigoroth attacking between charge moves. He decides not to shield on that. I go for the second Body Slam, which in itself kind of is a piggyback, causing him to miss out on 1 quick attack. He goes ahead and switches. Now because of this, I brought my Alolan Graveler, and you can see how hard the Alolan Graveler is just knocking down Vespiquen, and that is the one reason that I brought it to this whole cup. The X-Sixers does still hurt pretty bad, but I'm pretty much able just to get it down with fast moves, and letting my Alolan Graveler go down this low is fine with me because his one purpose is to take down Vespiquen. So he's pretty much done his job. Waiting for him to pick his next Pokemon, which is Lantern. He knocks me out before I can even get a charge move or any kind of move off. I bring Vigoroth back out and instantly go for a Body Slam. Can't remember if he has shields left or not. He does, and he uses it. Keep just trying to get to that second Body Slam, and we do. He's got no shields left. It takes us out the Lantern. I have 1 shield left, and he has Noctowl. I believe I brought my own Noctowl, and if I would have undertapped, I probably could have got to that Body Slam, but I'm not comfortable with that enough yet. So now we have a Noctowl fight where I have the advantage because I have 1 shield. Sky Attack does some good damage. I get to my Sky Attack. I decide I'm going to wait a little while. I thought about using Psychic, but again, I didn't play test it enough. I changed it right before the tournament, so I didn't know how much damage it would do. I'm going to go ahead and block his sky attack just to make sure that I have enough health to get to my second sky attack, which we do right there, and that's going to be enough to take him out. So I take round 2. It was a good game. The only round 3 match that I played in the tournament, I started off with Alolan Graveler. He started off with Vespiquen. He didn't think I would, so I got pretty lucky in that one. He brings out his Lantern. I try to switch, but y'all know how it is. Stuff happens. I bring my Vigoroth out just to try to counter his Lantern. It's not the best matchup for me, but it is one that Vigoroth can win. So we hit him with the Body Slam. After he tried to hit us with the Thunderbolt that we blocked, he decides not to block. And we keep going at it. I get to another Body Slam. I believe he is going to block this one. Oh, he doesn't. Okay. So I believe he's going to bring his Vespiquen back out just because Vespiquen is such a good counter to Vigoroth, which is why I was the one thing I didn't want to see this whole tournament. I'm going to try to hit it with a Body Slam. I'm pretty sure this one he does block though. See if I'm right. I'm wrong. Again. Anyways. So he's going to do an X Scissor. I figure I'm not going to waste my last shield on it. It's not going to hurt that bad. But it does bring my Vigoroth really low. I'm not able to get to another Body Slam, unfortunately. So I'll bring back out my Alolan Golem. And we get a little bit of lag. But we verify with each other that we're both lagging. And then it resumes. So I try to knock him down with just fast moves. Fortunately, I couldn't do that because he switched out. If I would have saved this Rock Blast, I might have been able to win this match. But unfortunately, I just decided that I'm going to use it. It is 1 shield to 1 shield. I believe I don't shield here. Which, I want to get this Vigoroth down as much as I can. And this is what I was talking about. The recording got messed up somehow. So round 3, I got elf-sized, and I forgot to hit record at the start of the match, so I got it as soon as I could. I decided not to block her Thunder with my Lantern, just because I knew it wouldn't be enough to kill me, but I still had a lot of energy saved up on it. So I'm going to throw out a charge move as soon as I can. She's going to go ahead and block because I forgot the name of that Pokemon, but it's able to take out a Lantern because it can get Grass Knot. And with Shadow Claw, it's able to store up a lot of energy really fast. I'm going to go ahead and bring in my Vigoroth, just because the weakness to fighting in Vigoroth is so dang strong in this meta. I block its Grass Knot just because I want to keep Vigoroth healthy and finish it down with counters. She brings out her own Vigoroth, but I have the energy advantage, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of play that to my advantage. And if y'all guys don't know, Elf-Sized is Accelerated Momentum from Round 1's wife. They're a awesome couple and very helpful and awesome people. So we keep going. I thought about trying to get her down with just counters, but didn't really want to risk it. Because well, I guess I could have risked it. Never mind. So round 2, she starts off Furret. I had no idea what the charge moves were on a Furret, so I decided I'm not going to block. It kind of pays out for me because it's just a Brick Break, and with Venusaur's Poison type, it doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I save up a bunch of energy and then decide to start throwing out charge moves. She goes ahead and blocks this first one, but I'm almost to another one, so I throw that out, and she does not block, and it is able to fan her down. She's going to bring out her next Pokemon, Ursaring, and I want to try to just do as much damage as I can, so as soon as I get to the Frenzy Plant, I use it, and it's able to basically one-shot the Ursaring. She is down to her last Pokemon now, which is a Lickitung, a Pokemon that I really thought about bringing, although I would not have brought it with Zen Headbutt just because of how that move is. It's not very good for PvP. I think even his Lick would be better. I decided not to go with my Vigoroth. I thought that might have been a little bit of overkill. She gets to a charge move here, and I believe it's Power Whip. Dealing a lot of damage to Lantern, but at this point of the game, I was kind of just having fun with it. We were both sitting at the same table laughing, and she never likes playing me. I don't know why. So, GG's, Elf-sized. Round 4, we get Druzilla, and I get a terrible lead matchup because, in my opinion, Heracross is one of the best Vigoroth counters. So, I wanted to save up a little bit of energy and then switch out, but I kind of panicked and went to my Venusaur instead of Noctowl. And so at this point, I'm thinking, try to burn shields. I should be able to get my charge moves off faster than his. So I'll either be able to take it down with Sludge Bombs or burn some shields. And I get his first shield and keep charging up more energy, and I'm just going to go for the Sludge Bomb as soon as it comes up. I might have got to it sooner if I undertapped, but it is what it is. He goes ahead and forfeits his second shield for that, and I decide I'm not going to waste my second shield and just let my Venusaur go down to this Mega Horn. Bring out Noctowl, which I should have done in the first place, and he switches out into Vigoroth, but he has no shields, so a Vigoroth without shields isn't much of a threat. So I'm going to go ahead and throw out a charge move. I wanted to try Psychic, but didn't want to risk it too much. That Sky Attack hurts it pretty good. I am able to get to a second one, which will finish off his Vigoroth. And I believe his last Pokemon is a Venusaur, other than Heracross, which I forgot was alive. I bring up the switch menu just in case it's a Alolan Rock, but it is that Venusaur. I barely got the switch screen to close and get a Sky Attack off before he was able to feint me down, and I'm able to finish it off with a quick move. GG's, Drew. So match 2 of round 4. I start off with Venusaur. He starts with Vigoroth. It's a pretty good situation for me. My Venusaur resists his counters. I don't know if he lagged a little bit there in the beginning, but I was able to get off like 2 quick moves before he was. And I'm going to go ahead and take this Body Slam. I knew I'd be able to live through it. I store up a little more energy and then go for either a piggyback or a double charge move piggyback. Him missing the quick move between charge moves is what causes that to be a piggyback. He go ahead and block both of those, so now he's without shields. I'm going to block this. I'm thinking I can get to another Frenzy Plant before he gets to a Body Slam. If I undertapped, I probably would have had that, but I didn't. So I'm going to shield it right here and go ahead and throw out that Frenzy Plant that I had saved up. That's going to take out his Vigoroth, and whatever he brings in is pretty much going to knock me out right away. His Lantern, I can't really bring in my Noctowl, so I decided to go with Vigoroth, and without shields, I'm a little scared. This is the first time I've taken a Thunderbolt with Vigoroth. I was kind of surprised by the damage. I go for Bulldoze, but he gets the switch before I get the charge move off. A Bulldoze into a Venusaur isn't that bad. I switch to Noctowl. This is a really favorable matchup for me. I'm just going to farm up as much energy as I can, hoping that I can get to the Psychic before his Lantern comes out, which I believe I do. Yep. The Psychic's going to do a little bit better damage to the Lantern than what Sky Attack would. and I knew I had to take it out just because it's so bulky. I was pretty scared of it at this point. I'm gonna go for this sky attack just to get off whatever damage that I can, but I end up taking it out. So GG's Drew. Congratulations Vergiverg for your victory. Very well played, and hope to see you at future battles. Well, I hope y'all enjoyed. Let me know what I can do to improve my videos. I'm going to be working on my editing skills. We'll be bringing you at least once a week videos. I can't promise every day. The wife and 3 kids kind of take up most of my time, but our Northwest Raiders tournaments, I'll definitely try to start editing them and putting them on YouTube for y'all. So try to get those up. Leave a comment, a like, subscribe, anything you feels right. And we'll see you in the next one.